highlighted something. I was in Baltimore right after the riots. I had a town hall. Let me tell you what's going on in America. It's probably going on everywhere. We have the intergenerational divide. That is not just about age. We do have a youth elder thing, yes, but that's not the issue. Not the you know what the primary issue? You have a courage divide. In other words, the children are willing to go to jail. The children are willing to stand up to the system. The children are willing to die for freedom, but the adults are not. When you looked at Baltimore, they told our brothers, stop rioting, and it wasn't a riot, it was a rebellion. But they said, stop rioting, go home. They didn't say we're gonna do anything about the police brutality. They didn't say we're gonna do anything about the schools. We're not gonna do nothing about the racism in Baltimore that has the white folk getting the biggest share of the economic pie in Baltimore. That Baltimore rebellion was breathing for years. That was just the catalyst. But my point is, the children were in the street. The adults were afraid. The adults wanted no part of it. I have a job, I have a retirement, I have a car, I have a house. I know they wrong, but I'm not going to get involved. So we got an issue where the children are fighting without the support of the adults because the adults are scared of white people and the children are not.
Systematic oppression. So thank you so much for that opinion. I mean, what do you think about tribal segregation? I mean, in our community, in our African communities, we also have that tribal segregation.
Well, see, here's my thing, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to Garveyism. The philosophy of race first. If we put the race first, these other issues don't count. Light skin, dark skin don't matter when you Pan-African. Muslim, Christian don't matter when you Pan-African. Rich, poor don't matter when you Pan-African. Jamaican, Philadelphian, black, British don't matter when you Pan-African. So my thing is go back to Garveyism. Go back to the foundation. Put the race first, put the religion second, put all the fraternities second, and then we come together under who we are, our shared collective racial history. That's what makes us. We came out of our mothers as Africans. We chose to be Christian. We chose to be Muslim. We chose to be black British, black English. That's superficial. That ain't skin deep. It's a label. But being African goes to the DNA. Being African is in a chromosome. Being African is in the blood. So we say go to race first and you cut all that out.
Fantastic. Last but not least, I'm not going to keep you long because I know people are waiting for you. What message would you like to give to the youth out there? I mean, especially the England youth.
Here's the thing I would like to say to the youth. Rebellion, violent or non-violent, is a necessary first stage to any serious push to change one's reality. You've never seen any group in world history get anything without pushing back against the system of oppression. There's no such thing as changing anything without some form of rebellion, violent or non-violent. So I want the youth to know that they're not wrong with what they did. They're not wrong, okay? Just like y'all had the rebellion here a couple years ago, based on the same situation, police murder. You see, that is necessary. And we have to stop telling the children it's not because we scared to go to jail. It's necessary, you see. But I want the youth to understand that after you tear down, after you push, you have to construct and build something. So my thing is, make sure you're planning the construction after you've taken care of the destruction. Because if all you're going to do is tear down and you're not going to replace anything, at the end, you're reactionary. You're not being proactionary. They also need to recognize that all great African men and women throughout history did three things. They studied, they struggled, and they disseminated information. They studied. You got to be knowledgeable. They struggled. They fought back against the system and defended their people, and they disseminated information. They made sure they educated other people. So the youth have to make sure they're doing those things. The study group, we got to bring the study group back. The think tank, we got to bring the think tanks back. The hard copy newspapers and magazines, that was a vehicle for intellectual revolutionary thought. We got to bring that back because that produces collective consciousness. But the adults have to help the youth, stop condemning the youth, and stop judging the youth because you scared of white folks and they not.
Thank you so much. So last, we're going to talk about your school.
Yes.
I understand that you're building a school for African boys. Yeah, oftentimes most people will say, oh, I'm not from America. Why should I invest my money in an American system? How comes he didn't do it in Africa? How comes it from what he's talking about? So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, here's the thing about that. The school that we're building, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Black Boys, that is an international school. So it doesn't matter if the child lives in France, London, Nigeria, Los Angeles, Jamaica, they can come to the school because it's international. So any child can come. Now, up until last month, we were looking at the St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia as a location. But I just heard that the federal government is going to buy St. Paul's. Now, the federal government has never bought a black college ever, but they're going to buy the college that I'm trying to buy.
Wow.
Yes, I just heard this a couple days ago while I was in Chicago. The government is going to buy the college, so I can't get it. Number two, that's okay though. I learned about another college that's in the southern part of the United States. $900,000, 85 acres. There's a dormitory there. There's a trade center. It's right next to a river. The school is the town, so we can build a black Wall Street, not just a school, but an independent black community. And they want $900,000. Right now we have $300,000. We only need $600 more thousand. So we're asking everyone to go to GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com/Dr. Umar, DRUMAR, and make your donation, because 600,000, that's not a far off goal. We can meet that. St. Paul's was 2 million. This is only 900,000. We have 300,000. We need the other 600,000. Okay? So I need everybody to go and push so we can build this school, and we very well may build the school in Africa. We very well be. I'll be going to Africa this summer. I'm going to be meeting with a traditional ruler, a king. We're going to talk about potentially building the first school in Africa. But even if I don't build the first school in Africa, I would like the second school to be in Africa. So that is still a goal, and that is still a very likely outcome of this whole thing. So we still pushing. We got to raise the money, $900,000 to get this school. I'm not telling nobody where it's at, because you got that hater element. You understand? So I got to keep it on the hush. But please make your donations. GoFundMe.com/Dr. Umar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Umar, for Power Chat TV. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, Queen Mother. Oh. You good? You good?
I'm good. I'm